Welcome to the Pioneer Agronomy Update as we come to you from that Elbow Lake, Minnesota area. Leah Johnson is with us. Leah, tell us first of all a little bit about the agency here, first of all.
Yes, so Red River Marketing has been a Pioneer dealer for almost 30 years. We've been involved in agriculture since way before then, selling Pioneer products, small grain, cover crops, and in the last year we've really expanded our agronomy services from consulting to soil sampling. If there's anything going on our fields, we can be that first contact for you.
Let's talk about this crop. I think we could probably use a rain just in our drive down here. It looks like that, but where are we sitting? Wheats, are we close to harvest? Where are we sitting?
So as far as rainfall, it has been so popcorn showers. It's been just extremely variable going into this post-pollination stage of corn. We got a little bit of rain last weekend, but we could really use another rain event, which we've got a chance for tonight. Small grain harvest is underway. The wheat crop, for the most part, everyone is pleasantly surprised. Things are looking better than expected. Which is great news. We don't care if we get rained out. We'll take the rain. We're seeing now that pollination is done. There's some surface cracking. A lot of our soil is still not recharged from last year's drought. So we want to keep the moisture coming. We want to keep the rains from missing us.
How do we come through pollination? How are we looking going into fall?
We had a godsend of what I would call a cold snap where we were in the 60s for about 5 to 7 days, right in the key pollination stage for our corn. So I have really struggled to find any issues with our pollination. The weather just really was fantastic for that. So it's been good from the corn planted the first week of May to a field right here planted the first week of June.
Good to see. Soybeans, we're hearing some reports of aphids. Are you seeing that here?
We're seeing aphids. Anecdotally, I think the biggest thing that I've found is the guys that went out with the later planting and kept the beans naked and they didn't treat them with anything. Those are the fields we're seeing the biggest populations. The fields that we spent the money up front and put that treatment on with the insecticide, those fields are holding okay, but the populations are growing. It's really on us and growers to be out looking at those fields to prioritize if we got to go out there and do some treatment with insecticide, because the window's not closed yet. We're still at that economic where the beans are still at risk.
Any other bug issues?
We have about 7 sticky trap locations for corn rootworm beetles with our facility. This is week 2 of that, so we're getting those results today. But corn rootworm beetles are a big issue as corn on corn is becoming more prevalent in our area. So this is a time to be out looking at your fields. If you see those green northern rootworm beetles flying around, take note of that. Know what fields they're in. We've had a couple situations where they're eating those silks, even though pollination is done. So it's not going to affect this year's yield. But knowing what those populations are to manage them for the future years that you're going to have corn and making sure you're planting the right traits on those acres, it would be such a detriment if we came in the next 2 weeks and we started seeing some damage from rootworm.
Anything else that we should learn from this year's crop that we'll take into 23?
I think that we've been so blessed in our area. We dealt with the later planting conditions as the rest of the world did, and I am astounded on how good this crop looks. I look at staging the crop of how close we are to that frost, because we always seem to have a frost event in the Elbow Lake area at that beginning of October. Where I'm staging a lot of this corn at, where it's at that early milk stage, we're looking at a lot of the corns going to be black layered by that September 20th, which is going to protect us immensely from any inclement weather come this fall.
That's good to hear. Leah Johnson with us. We're in the Elbow Lake area. Again, it is our Pioneer Agronomy Update.